Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts about the 40K universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about Imperial campaigns as we get into Vervunhive. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day. And if you have any requests or suggestions, just comment down below. And don't forget to check out our huge archive of lore videos. We probably have already touched on your topic. Just take a look. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on Vervunhive. Vervunhive was a hive city of the Imperial Hive world of Verngast in the Sabbat world sector. The hive city was well depended on by the Imperium for providing war materials for the innumerable crusades throughout the Imperium of Man. Vervunhive's geography included outer habitational sectors and manufactorums running along the River Hass to the north, while two bridges leading inside the main hive city, one a rail line and the other a road for vehicular traffic. At the center of the hive was the main spine, which was surrounded by more habitational sectors, the commercial district that served as the hive main's marketplace, and the city's defensive void shield pylon in the very heart of the city. To the west was the Hass West Fort, which was manned by Vervun Planetary Defense Force troops. Farther west lay the city's landing fields, and then more habitable sectors right outside the hive city's main walls. To the southeast lay the Crow Gates. Northeast lay the fortress that defended the Ontabi Gate. To the south, the Hieronymo Sonder Gate opened up into the Square of Marshals, which lay adjacent to the House Ankel's chemical plant. The Vevair Gate, also to the south, lay near the Vervun Ore Works and the city's Imperial Basilica, a place of worship dedicated to the Imperial Creed. Various mining districts lay outside the southern gates, with the spoil and mudflats to the southeast, well past Vervunhive's walls. The hive city was bustling and busy throughout most days, with many of its citizens working in the great manufactorums or serving the needs of the city's ruling noble houses. 9 houses of nobility had long collectively ruled Vervunhive, choosing one of their numbers to serve as the hive city's ruling governor. These noble families included the Sonder, Chas, Anko, Yetch, Crow, and Jenkin. Nobles representing each of these houses regularly met in the hive city's Hall of Legislature in the main spire to discuss hive businesses. Hololithic plates served as a form of public address throughout the hive city and displayed holograms that relayed that day's essential political and economic news to the hive citizens. Vervunhive was a place heavily dependent on intercity, interplanetary, and interstellar trade for survival. The commercial district was where most of these deals were arranged by the noble houses who completely controlled the hive city's economy, and they indulged in inter-house trading within the hive city's borders, forged deals with the other hive cities on Verngast, and even arranged for deliveries of Vervun goods to other Imperial markets off-world. Verngast was a major producer of materials for the Imperial Crusade underway in the Sabbat world sector, and it was drawn into the crusade directly when it was attacked during an attempt to conquer the world by the forces of chaos. At first, the people of Vervunhive thought they were under assault by the rival hive of Furzokia in a replay of the trade war that had scarred relations between the two Verngastian hive cities 90 standard years earlier. However, when Commissar Kawa led a Vervunhive armored division out to meet the forces of Zoika, it became clear that it was no conventional assault. The Zoikan army massed in the millions, as its entire population had been corrupted by chaos and transformed into fanatical chaos cultists. In comparison, Vervunhive could muster about 500,000 Planetary Defense Force troopers out of a population of over 40 million people. What made the force imbalance even more frightening was that the hive city of Furzoika was approximately only 2/3 the size of Vervunhive. The ruinous powers had sunk their fangs deep into every man, woman, and child in Furzoika. After receiving Vervunhive's request for assistance in facing the Zoikan assault, the Imperial Crusade in the Sabbat world sector dispatched the 10th 1st and only Regiment of the Imperial Guard to aid the Hive City's defense, as it was not known at the time that the Zoican forces were servants of the ruinous powers. The Tanith First and Only took up defensive positions on the southern side of the Hive, manning the walls alongside the Vervunhive scratch companies, and paying particular attention to the city's main access points, including the railgate and a heavily populated area outside the city's defensive walls called the Spoil. Early in deployment, the Tanith Regiment witnessed the massive explosive flashes of the thermonuclear detonations that the Zoicans unleashed against the Vanek Hive, which reduced the massive Hive city to a radioactive scrap pile. Vervunhive was protected from artillery bombardment by a powerful void shield that was projected over the top of the Hive from a pylon in the dead center of its spiral structure, but the garrison was under constant assault by Zoican soldiers and heavy infantry armor and a powerful force of Zoican main battle tanks. However, the corrupted Hive Master Salvador Sonder of Vervunhive, following orders from the Chaos Warlord, the Heritor Asphodel, who was the commander of the Zoican forces, deliberately lowered the void shield at a crucial moment to allow the Zoicans to unleash a full bombardment. Much of the Hive city was destroyed in a devastating barrage until a desperate strike force led by Colonel Commissar Ibram Gaunt, the commander of the Tanith First and Only, managed to infiltrate the Hive Master's quarters and bring the void shield back online. Gaunt then led another strike force composed of the Vervunhive's irregular scratch companies, the Tanith First and Only, and the troops of the Volpone Bluebloods into a massive armored assault crawler that served as the Heritor Asphodel's mobile headquarters and destroyed it, after Colonel Commissar Gaunt engaged and killed the Chaos Warlord in single combat. With their leader dead, the Zoican forces soon became disoriented, and their assaults were turned back. Shortly after the victory, War Master Makaroth, the Lord Commander, leading the Sabbath World's crusade, ordered massive reinforcement to be sent to the planet once the Imperial Guard forces reported the sheer strength of the forces of chaos present there. The new forces sent to Verngast included 6 million Imperial Guardsmen, 500,000 main battle tanks, 3 companies from both the Iron Snakes, the Imperial Fist Space Marine chapter, and 2 Titan Legions. This overwhelming show of Imperial force proved adequate to exterminating every last remaining Zoican cultist on the planet, and Verngast was declared free of chaotic taint. The War Master next issued an edict known as the Act of Consolation, which provided Imperial support for the construction of a new Hive city to replace Vanek Hive, and the ruins of Vervunhive, which also allowed the citizens of Verngast to join Imperial Guard regiments without going through the standard tithing process if they desired. Many of the survivors of Vervunhive, who had served in the scratch companies alongside the Tanith First and Only, willingly joined that regiment. And those were 40 facts on Vervunhive. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really like creating lore videos with campaigns that have a lot of details. And now that we're covering campaigns a little bit more, this video is perfect because it's short, but at the same time, it gives us a lot of details. So when they talk about the geography of Vervunhive, it's not just to add extra fluff, it's to really paint a picture of what a Hive city looks like. So you get the spire at the center, you get the shield projector also at the center, and then you have like the other habitable, like basically like dormitories and stuff outside of the walls. Things like that really add to your own just grasp of Warhammer 40K, but also if you ever create a narrative campaign in the future, you have that to fall back on. Same thing goes when they're talking about like the Planetary Defense Force and how it's garrisoned and how it's different to get tithed into the Imperial Guard as opposed to be selected or willingly put yourself into the Imperial Guard. By doing that, it kind of gives you, certain new tools to use when you're creating the lore for your army. If you're creating an Imperial Guard army or a Chaos Cultist army, small details like this found in these types of campaigns really add fluff to the army that you're creating. The biggest thing that I like about this campaign is there's a certain line that said that At first, they thought it was just the other Hive City attacking them like they've done before in another previous war. It's kind of, it adds more detail, it adds more fluff to the idea that, yes, Hive Cities can go to war with each other. And it's not because of like chaos motives or anything like that. It's just the natural part of human conflict, where two Hive cities like Sparta and Athens can fight with each other, and then you could take that story and, you know, grow with it and then implement it into your own either Space Marine chapter or into your own Eldar. You could have craft worlds fighting one another, things like that. Just crazy things that small crazy details that you can take and you can just blow up and make them into bigger stories. That's why I really like these small detailed campaigns. And again, I hope you enjoyed as well. If you have any suggestions, comment down below. If you have any requests, again, comment down below. And if you like what we do, support us on Patreon. A simple $1 a month helps us create more videos for you guys. If you can't, we understand. Simply by liking, commenting, and sharing, it helps out the channel. But with that said, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.